This is Tarron with Twist Mesquite Performance Horses. We are on a mission to create a world-class 2-year-old program that specializes in the reining cow horse. Today we're doing a video with Whiz. This is her 14th week in our program. We're going over the steps and the plan that we have for her this week. Those steps and plan are specifically tailored to her owner's goals with this horse and taking into account the individual horse, this horse, how she thinks, how she's processing, and what it is that we're needing to specifically work on and focus on with her. So our number one focus with her for this week is traveling out in a controlled manner. So, you know, her mind runs pretty quickly. She's thinking about what's around the corner, what's going on. She thinks about how, what's up ahead of me and how quickly can I get there. I mean, that's her thinking. She's a high performance type horse. She really wants to put 110% of effort into everything she does. And so it's our job to help control that energy into the right direction. We're going to take her down that path. Her owner, this horse's owner, plans to want to be able to take her on long overnight trail rides. It might take some time for this horse to mature to get to that point. But we're laying the foundation, we're laying the groundwork so that she's able to take this horse on and continue down that road. So I like right there, I put my feet on her and she kind of waited a little bit. She was thinking about, she's like, well, maybe he doesn't want me to quite go move my feet. A lot of what we've done with her is a lot of these bending transitions. So I am, with this horse being as quick as she is, quick-footed, she wants to go somewhere, her mind gets to running. I want to have a lot of these bending transitions mixed in with my cruising. And why do I want to do that? If she decides to go, if she's quick, if she's trying to mentally speed up and take off and go somewhere, you can either there are different ways that people go about handling that horse. Some people are just going to ride that horse out and just wear her out. And, the other way to go about that is to do a lot of these transitions. Do a lot of moving her feet, changing directions. If you have a bunch of trees or similar to where you can travel around, different things that you can travel around, to where we can just travel and go circle around this tree and then travel and circle around this other tree, and we can do that. Then that gets that horse's mind back on you, rather than just freely letting this horse just run off. Because this horse, any horse that's a young horse that's outside, if you just turn that horse loose, if that horse doesn't have a mental control on him, where that horse is thinking about coming back to you, thinking about staying under control, that horse will just get faster, faster, faster. And that could get you in a wreck, get the horse into a wreck, and cause problems. So I want to be able to travel out, sit down, and bring this horse back to this bend right here. want to come around here and walk around this circle several times. I want to make sure that she's respecting my feet, she's getting off of my feet and paying more attention to me right here in this circle, and turn her loose and go somewhere else. This horse needs a lot of this. She needs maturity, time, consistent works, and that's what we're giving her. She hears our dog over there paying attention to that. A lot of this stuff, she's all worked up. She gets worked up when she's not paying attention to us. What gets these horses paying attention to us is asking them to change the directions. Go into this exercise. Do this exercise I'm asking you to do. Move your feet. And it's putting them to work to where they have to start thinking about you because you're asking them to work. You're asking them to do something else. And the more you do that, the more they get their mind back with you, then they relax. They realize, hey, it'll just be better off if I just pay attention to him and reserve my energy. So some of that erratic stuff is just her. She's a quick-natured horse. She's very quick with her. When she thinks something, she's able to do it very quickly. She's able to respond very quickly, and that's what makes a high-end performance horse. When you can show these horses how to control that, they're able to respond on a dime. They're able to stop on a dime. They're able to change leads. They're able to track a cow. They're able to turn a cow, stop a cow, go back with the cow. They're able to read the situation when they respond this quickly, the same way she does. We have to show them how to channel that energy. That's what we're doing. I was thinking about the analogy for this horse, and if anybody ever had a high-end, high-energy working dog, say a border collie or a husky, a border collie specifically, that dog, especially if he's out of working lines, that dog is high energy. That dog is meant to go to work every day. That dog is built for that. That's his job. That's what he's bred to do. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to do anything else other than go to work. I had a dog that she was bred that way, and she would rather go spend time with those animals than me. She'd spend time out there all day long, and that was what she was bred to do. When she'd get tired, she'd get wore out, then she might come back, and hang out with me. But I realized with that dog specifically, and it's just the same applies to these horses. It's our job to get them out and put them to work, because if they don't work, their life's pretty miserable. With that dog, I realized if I wanted a good relationship with that dog, where that dog listened to me and paid attention to me, I had to put her in a situation where she could go work. Because if she didn't have a chance to go work, she didn't want to listen to me. She didn't want to be around. She didn't want to be a part of what we were doing if she didn't get to go work. And so it's the same with these horses. These are high performance animals. Especially you get into, high-end bred, like this one, she's a high-end bred reining horse, whether it be cow horse or cutting, the same deal applies. Those horses are meant to be performers. That's a whole lot different than somebody that, a horse that's bred to be big and lazy. The horse is a whole lot different animal. We spend a lot of time with this horse. Now she's starting to rate back down a little bit. She's starting to slow down, pay attention to me more. That comes from just doing a lot of those transitions. She sped up right here. We're going to slow her back down. Bring her back right here. I want her following her nose a little better right here. She's kind of just wandering all around. We're going to work on that a little bit right here. She needs to get this a little better right here. She needs to be more correct. Her job not to just do it, but do it well. Not be paying attention to that dog over there. Pay attention to us right here. What we're asking her to do. Sped up right there. We're going to bring her back down. It's her job to control her feet. And we remind her by bringing her back down. We could pull her up with two hands right there if we needed to, but we're not trying to stop this horse. We're trying to redirect her energy, because it is her job to manage her own feet, to stay in the gait that I'm asking her to be in. That's her job. And we set it up till we put her in a situation to where she has time to think through that and process and remember. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. You have her on loose range, she can just chop off. She speeds up, want to slow her back down. So out here is a little different than in the arena. As long as she stays within that trot, if she speeds up, whatever, that's no big deal. I'm not concerned with her running off in that arena. But out here, the horse gets too fast. There's no point letting that keep going. If a horse is, kind of wouldn't say taking the bridle, because she's not, but it's a mental thing. If this horse is speeding up without us asking her to, if she starts getting too fast, it's okay to bring her back down. So like in the arena, I would let her commit to loping off before I pulled her up. But out here, I don't necessarily even want it to get to that spot. I need her to realize I want you to regulate. She's thinking about going back to the barn, not respecting my feet right here. I need her to follow her nose through this turn. We're not just she's starting to slow down. All of that kind of throwing her head up, just that erratic stuff, that's what we're working on right here. That's all attitude, and that's not thinking, her mind's not with us when she's doing all that stuff. Horse that's relaxed, has a low head, that horse is thinking. When a horse throws his head up in the air, and is looking around, that horse is looking for something to react to, and he's just in a reactive state of mind. And so all of these exercises, everything we do, is teaching this horse how to think. It's not a natural process. It doesn't seem to be a natural process for horses to want to be in a thinking state of mind. Now, it seems that breeding has an impact on that, where these horses do get better and better. They're more trainable. So maybe that reactiveness, maybe breeding some of that or channeling some of that. I kind of got onto her a little bit right there because she knows better than all that. She needs a lot of this right here. That's what we've been working on. It takes time for these horses to get used to all this stuff. Get used to being outside and having to spend time thinking about who's riding them rather than minding their own business, reacting, or whatever the case may be. Nope. So just as we've done a lot of this in the arena, we need to do a lot of this outside as well. It's where if she decides to go run off right here, bring her back down. There's no room for all of that nonsense. That's what all these exercises do. Get control of them. Teach them. A lot of these, another benefit of this softening exercise is it helps that horse work through. It's a physical thing this horse does where they have to work through this. They have to work through all of those reactiveness, work through that reactiveness. Because when a horse is reactive, they want to get their body straight, stiff, throw their head up in there. But when they have to slow down, and get that bend in their body, they have to handle their mind. And so that's a lot of, what this exercise does, brings their mind back to us by giving them something physical to do that is the opposite of what a reactive mind wants their body to do. It's cohesive with a quiet, calm mind rather than a reactive mind. So right here, when she's soft right here, she gets that head low. When we have her in this bend, she lowers that head and starts relaxing. So it's important to be able to have this on these young horses. Because you're going to have days like this, when the wind's blowing, when it's rainy, when there's neighbors' dogs barking, when trees are blowing and it's cold. You're going to have days like that. You have to be able to, these horses, they go through stages. A lot like people, they go through stages. They have good days and bad days. That's the importance of having this foundation on these horses, where you can go back and remind those horses to get back in a good frame of mind. Didn't ask her to trot off right there, so I brought her back down. Neighbors' dogs are barking. She just has to get used to all that stuff. Because all of that stuff is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. What matters is this horse listens to us, pays attention, so that she's willingly guided around and stays under control, so that we're able to stay safe and we're able to keep her safe. At the end of the day, that's the biggest goal with riding a horse. Being able to do the job you need to do while being safe. Number 2, being able to keep that horse safe. Then I would say number 3, getting the job done. Some of these horses take more patience than others. But every horse is different. People are the same way. Every person's different. See if we can pull her up and stop her. Remind her to get soft. So with her, for this week, we have made some progress with her. And the biggest thing with her is just the consistency. And it's important with every horse, but that consistency brings breakthrough. And sometimes it takes longer. Takes longer with a certain horse than others. With this horse, there are things that just take longer. She's just different. Every horse is different. But that consistency is what we're working on. That consistency brings breakthrough. And when you break through, you're able to achieve a new level of success in whatever area you're working on. So with this horse, when we break through and break through that mental spot in her mind, to where she comes back down and she relaxes and wants to be a part of, locks in 100% with what we're doing. This horse is going to be big time. She's very talented, has a lot of action. She's a pretty horse to look at. She's a high performer. We gotta stay consistent with her. Continue to ask her in the same way, remind her, present some different things, maybe work on some different things that presented in a different way in order to get that breakthrough. And sometimes it's just time. It's that maturity that kicks in, that comes, and that horse just starts to slowly get it. So overall, I'm pleased with her. We've rode her quite a bit out here, going through the trees and going around all the just up and down through the brush, and just getting her exposed to all of it. So that'll be our review for Whiz for this week. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.